The siren has succumbed to its own inevitable riptide. Jimmy Buffett, altar boy turned pirate scourge turned musical business tycoon, passed away earlier this month after a 76-year battle with alcohol poisoning. All around me, I hear the cries of aging New England women of all ages actually, but only women. Jimmy Buffett was a dude they could pal around with and not fear the toxic aggression of the patriarchy and their husbands. Jimmy Buffett won't hurt you. He's too coked out on potato skins to perceive threats, and too lubricated by cheeseburger grease for the friction of an effective fight-or-flight response. It's like how straight women flock to gay bars, or how most romance stories about gay men are actually written by women for women, which is fine in isolation, but when it becomes the norm, it means that actual gay people lose our own spaces of belonging. I don't read romance novels anymore, though. After a certain point, they're just taunting me for the connection which I lack. On that note, I know we're at a funeral, but gentlemen, if you're not doing anything later, you could be dating a vegetarian. Cheeseburger in paradise. My favorite food is bran flakes.
Can you believe it?
Margaritaville. Water is my fun beverage.
You have to believe me.
Napping on the beach. Nothing could be more stressful.
I'm stranded in the chaos of my mind and none will believe me.
Probably are parrot heads outside of New England, but I doubt they can compare to what we've got up here. The kind of aggressive, violent escapism, mostly self-destructive, that you can only squeeze out of a Puritan on a 3-day weekend, plus enough day drinking to ensure that none of it remains on their conscience when they come back to church. I'd say it'd be weird to no longer receive Mrs. the Page's annual order to cut the internet of everyone else in the neighborhood so she can order her Jimmy Buffett tickets without getting lagged out of the queue, but we already don't talk anymore anyway. Won't be long till she's moved to Latitude Margaritaville. Did you know there's a small city of retired Buffett acolytes? Apparently they're quite happy, but I suspect it might be in more of a Matrix sort of way. I'm too riddled with depression, trauma, and a non-heterosexual identity to succumb to the carnal desire of becoming such a social alcoholic. Latitude Margaritaville is where suburban couples can go to drink and sleep their days away after a long life of driving twinks and colored folks to drink and sleep their days away. In that sense, parrot head retirees are basically viruses, mindlessly converting all organic matter around them into just more copies of themselves as Latitude Margaritaville grows in power. Yeah, although the siren himself has kept a disarmingly chill attitude throughout his bustling business career, some of the parrot heads I've encountered have been decidedly unchill. You know how New Englanders are. We will not experience merriment on your terms. Buffett's tropical dandy marks the exception, because he appears to women as a figment of their own stress-induced delirium, and is ultimately the self-destructing punishment which we God-fearing Catholics feel we deserve.
Flip-flops!
Who the hell are you?
I'm Jimmy Goddamn Buffett!
Are you real?
Of course not. I'm a dream sprat who visits all the ladies of coastal Massachusetts when they're feeling inadequate.
Can this wait? I'm busy scolding children for laughing too close to my hydrangeas.
What if you could gaslight yourself?
It wrinkles the leaves.
What if you could gaslight yourself into believing you were in a tropical paradise? If you let go of your regrets from 30 years ago and had no light financial crimes to hide? What if you didn't care?
I am stumbling drunk across a pier in Costa Rica. The neighbors will never find out about my public indecency charge from 68. I will never again lay awake at night struggling to convince myself that it's not my fault that my son turned out kind of fruity.
My legion grows.
These women keep all of their positive vibes bottled up all year long until the coral reefers are coming to Boston and they unload everything in a violent 3-hour blue. I've kept my fun bottled up my whole life. Eventually it just suffocates in there and I can go back to my delicious, nutritious banquet of bran flakes! I don't know what comes next for my country. Will the loss of our sunstroke troubadour drive us to stress-induced breakdowns, or will the absence of his infectious escapism leave us to actually confront the root causes of our unhappiness, rather than perpetually running away from unpleasant reality? I just think it's interesting how Buffett's philosophies could attract people who are the total opposite of what he preached. Actually, when I put it that way, Jimmy Buffett really is a religion. I will never again lay awake at night struggling to convince myself that it's not my fault my son turned out kind of fruity. Excuse me.
Do you want to be in the video? Do you? Do you want to be in the video?